Hey Lauren, it's October 4th. So on Monday, your question to me was, what are my pros and cons of living in Japan? And I feel like that's a subject for a whole video, so I'm just gonna spend this whole video answering your question. This was actually a really hard thing for me to think of, so these are just the things that came to me off the top of my head. This list could probably be longer and more in-depth, but right now, this is all I've got. So let's get the bad news out of the way first. Cons. The number one thing I dislike about living in Japan is summer. I do not like heat and I don't like humidity, and that's all that Japanese summer is. Japanese summer is super sticky and you have to walk everywhere, and I get really sweaty and it's disgusting, and all of the work I do on my hair and my makeup in the morning is just ruined by the time I get to where I'm going. So I don't like Japanese summer. Number two, everything is expensive, especially food. Since Japan is really small and there's a lot of people, the cost of living is just really high, and food is always really expensive. Fruit is the thing that's most ridiculously expensive to me, but good thing I don't really eat fruit. But if I ever want to eat strawberries in Japan, probably not gonna happen, because I don't want to spend that much money for a thing of strawberries. And number three, something that I mentioned before, is there's no Target, or really anything like it. I was really looking for a place where I could just go and get everything I needed, but I really couldn't find one. If you have a ton of different things on your shopping list, you have to go to a bunch of different specialty stores in order to get it all. I really like just going to one place to be able to get everything. I mean, of course, there are some times where I'll go to a specialty store to get what I need if the deal is better or the quality is better. Like being able to go to Target and being able to get snacks, makeup, toys if I ever need them. Those are my three things that I dislike about living in Japan. Let's talk about the good things, the pros of living in Japan. So you know I really like Japanese fashion, and so living in Japan gives me access to Japanese fashion all of the time. I just really love the fashion and all of the different clothing shops. I think I've told you my favorite shops before, Spins and WeGo. So one of the really good things about living in Japan is easy access to awesome clothes. Number two on my list of pros about living in Japan is public transportation. So Lauren, you're American, and so you know that our public transportation is pretty much crap. In Japan, everything is convenient and you can pretty much get everywhere by public transportation. If it's train or bus, it's all pretty easy. Depending on where you live, everything is pretty much conveniently located, and it's just really easy to get to, and I really like that about Japan. Even though I do a lot of it, I actually hate driving. I hate traffic and everything, all the frustrations that come with driving, so easy access public transportation is a really big plus for me. Number three of things I like about living in Japan is convenience stores. Of course, we have convenience stores in America, and I have my favorite American convenience store. It's Wawa, by the way. But Japanese convenience stores are just so much better on so many levels. The thing I love about Japanese convenience stores is that you can do everything at them. Like, I used to pay my bills at the convenience store, which was awesome. And you can also pay for things like internet purchases, and you can buy concert tickets there, and it's just so much more convenient than American ones. I think a lot of this has to deal with the fact that Japan is a country that mostly operates on cash payments instead of credit cards. So I think being able to go to the convenience store and paying in cash for pretty much everything is a really great thing. Paying in cash actually keeps me a little more mindful of my money because I'm just not throwing my plastic everywhere. I have to think about how much money I have and how much I'm spending. So those are my pros and cons of living in Japan. And since I think this is a really interesting question and I want to see if we are on the same page with some or all of these things, I don't know, I am going to ask you, Lauren, to answer this question on Monday. That's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna go back to dealing with my migraine. See you later!